Good afternoon. Welcome to my garden, Lilac Hill. You can see we're finally done with the snow. And the garden is just starting to wake up for spring, though it is still very much winter. And just because we don't have any snow doesn't mean we won't get frost. The frost date for this region, for my garden, is around the beginning of April. So a few weeks yet, but there's still lots to do and things to see and jobs that need to be done. And one of the things I'm going to do right now and share with you is taking the cover off the Daphne. See how that went. It was been under frost tent all winter. But now it's time because that plant is going to bloom. I took the covers off the other two, so I'll share that. And the plants that I picked up in the city when I went down to visit my mom. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to take the frost cover off the Daphne. This is his last year under that dome. The dome is way too small, but we'll see how it went. All right, so I decided to start down here because I want to share the amount of buds that are on my lilacs. That looks fantastic. I think it's going to be a good year for the lilacs this year. I'm excited to see them in that much bud. I hope all those buds become flowers. I might be taking out these lavender. They're looking really woody, and I did get them from the dump for free. I got 2 lavenders about 4 years ago, so I might be taking those out. Yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to share. Oh, there's a bud right there. To share the buds for the lilac as I make my way up the hill towards the Daphne under the dome. And you can see the Daphne, as I get closer, does not fit under the dome at all. Oh, but it looks like it's got buds. I just took the bottom white wrap off, but look at all the leaf drop. I think it's stressed, but it seems to have a lot of buds. Okay, it's time. Here goes the big reveal. Hello. Oh, squished in there. Okay. Well, it'll have to relax a little bit. So this is still frost burned through the cover. So like I said, the cover was too small. Plant does look a bit squished, but there are lots of flowers. So I would say this was okay. I think the frost protection I do next year will be a lot looser, and I'll use the dome someplace else. So that's the Daphne out of the dome. I don't really know much about these plants. I don't know why the leaves went brown, but I think that is frost. So I think it still needs to be frost protected, but just not squished under the dome. Lots of bulbs coming up. I have a daffodil here that's just about to open, and a crocus, yellow. Also just about to open. So this is full of bulbs. This is crocus. It's some of the remains of the big alliums. It's also got baby tiny daffodils. And it's got hyacinths. There's a few mallow. Looks like they came up on their own. And I really like this Prunus glandulosa, my flowering almond. Old plant, looking a little odd, but it's got buds, and that's all that matters. Oh, and while I'm down here, I'm just going to share that I am going to prune the hydrangeas today. So what I'll do is I will prune down to a healthy bud. Now look at this one right here. I could get the camera on it. Yeah, right there. Of course, the camera doesn't want to focus, but that gives you an idea. I'm going to prune to here. That's a healthy bud. This all comes off. The other thing, if I wanted the plant to be smaller, I could prune to the next healthy bud down here. But the plant sort of tells you where it wants to be pruned to. So say this one, for example, has a bud here, which is small, and it has a bigger bud here. So I would go to the bigger one. Try and get as much stalk or stem as possible because that makes the plant stronger. And then I would go in and selectively prune for shape, or anything like on this one, some of those branches are on the ground, and I would take all those skinny ones off. But the hydrangeas seem to be pretty tough. They can take just about anything. But I don't want to prune off too much of these new green stems, just to here on a nice angle. And there's nothing new growth. This is all the new growth, which is where the blooms will come from. So those will get done, and then all this can get composted, which is fine. All right, so I want to share now my little display. I'm picking up my dome as I go. My little display of the plants. Oh, I should just acknowledge the Charles Jolie lilac too. It's in full bud. And then this deck is where I put all of the tulips in pots. Make a display of nice tulips where the deer can't bite them. But overall, a lot to do, but I have been doing some pruning, and I also watered everything that I've been storing underneath the deck. I'm just going to set this over here, and then I'll put it away later. Oh, this is the other Daphne that was in its wrap, and this one actually has no brown leaves. So that tells me that the white fleece that this was completely wrapped in is better than the green dome. Looks like the green dome still allowed frost in, but look how healthy this is. It's so green. There's a little bit of frost damage on one of those lower leaves, but this is going to open and be fragrant and gorgeous very, very soon. So I would call that one a success. And I think this dome would be better off for a different type of plant. Okay, so here's my display of bulbs. I did this little patio area last year from bricks that I just found around the property. Just like a crazy paving kind of idea. And here are some of my bulbs. There's mixed hyacinths and there's Caribbean Dream. I've got the card for that. I just added compost to the tops. This one is the mixed hyacinths, and this is called Ice Follies, the daffodils. I think they're going to be really pretty. I might do these raised areas in daffodils because the deer don't really bother them, and then I'll do the tulips up on that patio. This is a little hellebore, another little hellebore. So my last plant of 2024 was a hellebore, and my first plant of 2025 was a hellebore. The grocery store was selling them for $5, and I felt so sorry for it. All it really needed was to be watered, and it came right back. And then there's the one I got in 2024 at the end, Jasper. Oh, and there's something funny going on under here. I have to share this. This is really quite interesting. Okay, so just before we left to visit my mom for a few days, I happened to notice that the peony coral sunset is not waiting for spring. This plant is saying, I'm here, and I actually added compost. Look at the mound, it's still pushing through. So I really think this is, even if it just comes up as foliage, I'm still really, oh, my scarf. I'm still really impressed that it's coming up that quickly. And there's lots of little bulbs in here. These are just going to be so nice for the bees. But I think this coral sunset's going to play nice on the Ascot rainbow euphorbia and the Tasmanian tiger euphorbia. So that's kind of a fun thing. And this raised area, or not really raised, these little bricks, they're all going to get planters on them. And then this area here will all get bark mulch. So we'll see how that goes, because this is clay, but it still does give me the option to one day turn it into garden. But I like my little display. It gives me an idea as to how those bricks are all going to work for the different heights. I think I need a tall one though, right behind the purple pot, something up to about the level of that board, just for another element of height. And of course the beautiful fragrant sweet box is still blooming. Okay, let's head over here. I want to share what we picked up in the city. Take the dome with me. Get it closer to be putting away. So one thing we're going to be working on this year, which is very exciting, is this blue building, which, I'm dragging a leaf. This blue building, which is not really finished on the inside, is going to become an outdoor office and work space. I think I've said that before, but I'm really excited to make that into a insulated. It is insulated, but the ceiling's not insulated, but it is where I store all the plants over winter. So once that gets started, I'll share the inside for a before and after. Okay, so over here is what I picked up in the city. So it was nice to get out of town and do something different. See the garden center again, and I got this one called brown sugar. I never know if it's Dahlia or Dahlia, so I'll go with Dahlia. I got this Dahlia brown sugar. This one is Thomas Edison and Dazzling Sun and Lifestyle. So I think that in my plantings, this goes with this, this goes with this definitely goes with this, but this goes with this. So actually, no matter how I do it, all four are going to be really nice together. And what my plan is to do them in tall black pots and grow them on in pots, and then I can insert the pot into the garden wherever I feel I need the color. And this way, if the deer start to be annoying and maybe bite them, I can move the pots up onto the big sun deck if I have to. So that is the plan. The other plant I was able to get, which was kind of on my wish list, was my new purple smoke bush. And I'm so happy to have one of these. I haven't had a smoke bush since my Maple Ridge garden, and I've really missed it. I think I'm going to grow this one in the chicken run garden when the time comes. And it'll look nice with that wine time Weigelia that's down there. And it is in bud, so that's good. Somewhere there. And I did pot it on into a little bit bigger pot because it was in one of those little 1 gallon. It was actually kind of laying on its side. It was really quite sad, so I was glad to get that. These anemones, it's time for them to come out of their box and go in the ground or into a pot. And look at this little display of daffodils. In my tag bag, I have from 2024, this is the Coral Sunset, the one that's already shooting. Oops, get my angle right here. That's the one that, that's the one. Stand up. That's the one that's coming out of the ground already. And it's an open face, so I hope it's good for pollinators. And then right beside it is a daylily called South Seas. And I know daylilies and peonies usually bloom at different times because the daylily will bloom later. But it's kind of an orange theme going on in that side because these other peonies, which are over in this bed, they aren't showing yet, are more of the white, hot pink, the white with pink center, the bowl of beauty. And I think that intense pink would not really play well with the orange. So we'll see. But anyways, that Coral Sunset is very happy where it is. So it's going to stay. And there's some other things here. I've said that I put that in the spring bed, but I would be surprised that those are not in the ground. And then there's this assortment. I'm not sure why it says that, but anyways, we'll see what they do. Oh, this was in a purple pot. Mixed daffodils and this little cute little pot, also in a purple pot. And I think I did one of them with this allium. So those are them. And then these are all for this year too. These are all in pots under the deck and they've all been watered. Silver Cloud, a couple packs of those. Some snowdrops. Oh, I do have my little snowdrops coming up. I'll have to show those. There's those mixed hyacinths. That's the one that's already in the pot. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, these, I love these. The Siculum necroscrotum plant does really well for bees. Little tete-a-tetes. Yeah, so lots going on. Oh, and then this is the ice follies. This one, ice follies, is the one in the little yellow pot over by the building. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have some color this year, which is nice. But I also had said before, put this one up top, that I wanted to get some zinnias for this year. And I need to do my sunflowers because I really missed my sunflowers. And a lot of my sunflowers, it looks like I have a lot, but a lot of these were given to me as gifts. Sometimes I've only used 1 or 2 seeds out of the package. So we'll see which one I pick and which sunflower I grow where. The big ones can be a bit of work because you've really got to have good stakes, but we'll see how that goes. And then this is the tag bag for 2025. See if it's unsealed. I can get into it. So in here already is the new smoke bush. So again, I wouldn't put this. Where's my camera? There's my camera. I wouldn't put this with this because this will get lost. So what I'll do is I've got the plant pot tag on now, but I would actually do a tag for this, and probably with HB pencil if you're going to do those yogurt containers, because there is an example over here of a tag that is showing for a plant with absolutely nothing on the tag. And that's the little hellebore. So I just made my homemade tag because I put the plot sticker on there. So this is the start of 2025. Okay, so then the last thing I want to share, well, I've got 2 things actually, but first off is the seeds. So whenever we go to the city, we always try to find a place that sells West Coast seeds. They're not as easy to get in Powell River. You have to really go looking to the garden centers to see who's got it. So I got this Bloody Mary nasturtium. This is going to go in the blue peony pot. These are really cool. I've never seen that one before. So that's going to be really nice. I got a new Tithonia just in case the seeds I collected didn't work. And here they are. Oh my gosh, I can hardly wait. This is going to be such a nice display of zinnias. I got one of every one they offered because I couldn't decide. I wasn't going to leave anything behind. Because again, if I can't get it in Powell River, I would totally kick myself because I don't know when I'll go down to the city again. This one's called Under the Sea mix. Oh, but look at this one, Oklahoma salmon. That is so pretty. And I was even able to get one more cosmos. I've actually grown this one before, the rose bonbon. But again, if I can't get it here, I want to get it while I see it. There you go. So lots to do. And then there's also a sweet pea that I'm going to do with my clematis this year because that was really successful. This one's called Ocean Foam. See, this Mackenzie Seed Company, we can get this anywhere in any garden center. But the West Coast seed is this more of a specialty seed just for West Coast of Canada. And they're based out of Delta, and they're a little bit hard to get to for me. And I know I can order online, but I'm still really happy to have found a display. This was at Lee Valley in Coquitlam. And then I've got lots of veggies to try. I've got tomatoes I'm going to start soon. And some other vegetables. I got beans to try. I always do a little tray of lettuce. So I think between the new West Coast seeds, the bulbs in pots, the new dahlias to go in, I think I am going to be very busy. So the last thing I want to share is this one more way that I help to keep track of everything in the garden. And every year I start a book. I'm trying to get to the cover of this one. Yeah, see, Lilac Hill 2025. And that's my February to-do list. All the things I've done. If I've done it, I check it off. So you can see I want to prune the hydrangeas. That hasn't been checked off. And I got to finish cleaning the plants that are in pots that have dead foliage on them and they need to be watered. Finish that. This little book I'm going to use this year just for seed starting. And I look at Charles Dowding and all those people, and then Bunny Guinness and even Jerry Landers, Hop Along Hollow. I follow all those people to see what they're doing. in the garden and what they're doing for seed, because gardening for vegetables is different than gardening for plants, and it has to be a whole different mindset. But I've got some lists of things I'm going to start. I can use my heat mats, and then eventually things will come up to the new glass house. I'm just going to change hands. This is the book for 2024. So these are all my programs that I watch, the notes that I make, ideas, jobs, more to do, lots of to do. I like lists. I like to check things off. I feel very accomplished. The last book is this one, and this is for specifically been created for the garden tour. And this garden tour is happening in June, and these are all my tabs. So plant plans, must have, small details, more plants, improving areas. And then this is going to be a great little resource. I've already made my list of things I want to get done for the tour. And this is a list of some of the plants. I actually hope that smoke bush is on here, because then I can cross it off. I know I want to get some coleus too, areas to develop. Oh, so that's my books. There's my seeds. There's my new dahlias. But I just want to share very, very quickly why you don't use those white yogurt containers with pen. So this area is going to probably come out. I was going to put this into a path, but I think I'm going to take out all the rocks and just have a flowing garden from this patio flow right in to this space, and just keep the bricks on either end, and then all the rocks can go, because I'm finding the rocks just, so it's really, they're just covering the ground, and I can grow stuff there. But here's a perfectly good example. Look at this. There's obviously something coming up, and look what it is. No idea, because I marked it with black felt instead of HB pencil. Yeah, use the HB pencil on the white yogurt containers. That is, I can give you any tip today. That's the biggest one. But I just think this needs to come out. It needs to be cleaned up, come out, tripping hazards removed. I'm going to be 60 this year, and I do not need to fall and trip in the garden. I usually don't want to fall and trip in the garden at any age. So yeah, I'm really excited. I want to get going on my, I'm still dragging this leaf around. I want to get started on my pruning of the hydrangeas. And I'm just going to end by having a nice look at my display. So thank you for watching. As I've been talking about everything, I'm getting really revved up for the new season. So I'll just end with my lovely display here. And thank you so much for watching.